Thursday today, and it's been a bit of a funny old week. I've got a lot to tell you, so I'm gonna go and like run some errands and stuff now, and then I'm coming back to the yard this afternoon, so I'm not going to film until then, and then I'm going to chat to you because I think I'm going to be chatting for a while today because I have a lot to tell you. Oh, we have got something quite exciting happening though. We've got electric gates, and it is literally making my life so much easier. I know it's lazy, but you have no idea how amazing it is until you have it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm back. I know it feels like it's been like 3 seconds, but it's been 4 hours. Yes, so I'm back now. I've got the farrier coming this afternoon to do Guinness. I want to have a session with Guinness. I want to play with Apollo. I also need to chat to you. I might, should I do my chat now? I might film my chat now, but then put it at the end of the vlog. Yeah. I think I'll do that. So you'll see it later. So the next thing you see is probably me playing with the horses, maybe? Who knows? It'll be a surprise. Quickest session ever for Ginger. Come on. But the farrier's just rang me. He's going to be early, so I need to go and get Guinness in. So lucky you, Ginger, you had a 10-minute play. He's like, that was easy. So Apollo got really good with like mounting. Oh, yes, mounting. And then he had some problems with his back. Good boy. So we didn't ride for a while. He's had a bit of time off, so he's got a bit of a belly on. So we're just doing like lots to try and get his belly down a bit at the moment. And then when we came back to it, he was a bit iffy with the mounting block again. So we started doing a bit more work with it. Good boy. And we got really good until last week. Good boy. I was playing with him, playing next to the mounting block, doing exactly this basically. And I don't know what it was, whether it was the boots I was wearing or what, but I ended up like having static running through me, and I gave him a static shock, which is like an electric shock. Like it was big as well, like you heard it go bang just when I touched him, and he was like, oh my god. and kind of put him off the mountain block again for a while. So I was like, oh no, I've ruined it. But luckily we've got back to it. It's just taken a few sessions just to get him confident again, bless him, to trust me that I'm not going to electric shock him, so I'm just not wearing those boots in here again. But yeah, it was weird. Good boy. But also he's got a new saddle on its way. He's had to get like a temporary saddle that he can wear to fit him while he's losing weight, and then once he's lost the weight he can have a brand new sparkly saddle, which is very exciting. But yeah, I'm excited for the new saddle to come. He had the saddler out the other day and he's given him all clear. Well, the chiropractor gave him the all clear. Good boy. And then yeah, saddlers had a look and sorted him out. Good boy. So we can start riding. Yay! Good boy. I do normally get on him bareback and have a little bareback wander around, but I've left my hat in the yard today, so I won't do that. Oh, you're such a good boy. I'm all done for the day. Ponies are fed and happy. I forgot to show you me feeding Guinness, but I did give him his dinner. Yes, I'm going to go home and chill now, but you're now going to see me chatting to you, which I filmed earlier, so enjoy that. Okay, so I wanted to just have like a heart-to-heart emotional chat with you today. As you know, I like to be as honest as I possibly can be on the vlogs. I just feel like it paints a much more realistic picture of what it's like in the world of horses. Yeah, like why wouldn't I be honest with you? I just want to share things so that you know that everyone goes through things. Yeah, so basically on Sunday I had a session with a client's horse, and the session actually went really well. It was a really good session. I was riding and everything was feeling really good, and then like right at the end of the session it all went a little bit Pete Tong. Yeah, basically I'm not going to go like into loads of detail about it, just out of like respect for the horse's owner, but I made a mistake. I made an error of judgment, and the horse didn't respond very well to it, and unfortunately I ended up falling off, which I can't even remember the last time I fell off a horse. I genuinely can't remember. It's got to have been a couple of years. So it came as a little bit of a, that was me, not you by the way, it came as a little bit of a shock for me, because it's not happened in a while, but obviously it happens to everyone. This horse in particular is a challenging horse, that's why I work with him, and he has been doing really well. I was really pleased, as I say, with the session that we'd had, but unfortunately an error of judgment on my part can have quite big consequences. He can be quite explosive, and that's what happened. I now realise I hadn't really prepared him enough for what I asked him to do. I kind of thought he was ready because the ride had gone really well, he was really relaxed, everything was great, so I was like, let's try this, and it didn't work. And looking back now, I know that I should have given him a bit more time. He wasn't actually ready. I should have just ended the session there, but you know what we're like as humans. So but anyway, everyone was fine. I did hit the ground quite hard. I did hurt my back and my neck. Today's the first day I've felt like properly mobile again. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to play with some horses tonight because I need to get back out and doing something. But anyway, so that happened, and obviously I feel quite positive about it now, as you can tell. You know, I'm like, well, it was clearly, you know, an error of judgment, it's all fine, I know what to do next time to avoid it from happening. But at the time it didn't feel like that. Well, actually when it happened I was okay. I was like, I guess I was just kind of in the moment of it, of like, oh, that hurt. But then like on the journey home, and then especially the next morning, like Monday morning, I wasn't so good, like in here. I ended up going on a really sort of self-sabotaging journey throughout Monday, where I was really hard on myself, and I'll kind of talk you through what happened. So the first thing that I kind of thought was, you know, that was a really stupid thing of me to do, like I shouldn't have just jumped ahead like that, the horse clearly wasn't ready. So then my thought was, if I am likely to do that, then I shouldn't be working with challenging horses. It was kind of like, what, who do I think I am that I think I can deal with a horse like that? Maybe I'm not the best person for that horse. And unfortunately what happens then is that then that tends to spiral into, I'm not good enough for horse training, I shouldn't be training horses. And then that spirals to, I'm not good enough for my horses. And it became this huge thing of, I don't even want to ride, I don't even want to get back on, I don't think I'm cut out for this, what am I doing, who am I kidding thinking that I can do this? And it was a 30-second thing that happened, the rest of the ride was great. So it just shows how much the tiniest thing can completely spiral out of control. And the other thing that happened is that it actually did scare me. Now, I am a very confident person around horses, and that's why I can do the job that I do, because horses that are challenging or in some cases can be quite dangerous doesn't scare me. They don't scare me. I don't know, I suppose because generally I know how to deal with it, or if I don't know how to deal with it, I know how to keep myself safe. So I am a confident person around horses. I'm not a nervous rider, I'm not a nervous horse person. So when something scares me, it's a little bit a bit of a shock to the system, and that scared me because it was a big reaction, and I flew off and I hurt myself. And I guess the thing was, I could have really hurt myself. And when I was younger, I used to fall off horses all the time and never have a problem. I'd be like, oh well, hop back on, or even if I really hurt myself, I'd just be desperate to go and get back on the horse, and a couple of times when I was younger I ended up in hospital having fallen off, quite badly injured, and all I could think of was when am I going to be able to get back on the horse again? And I think now the difference is, as you grow up, you start to have responsibilities, you have a little bit more self-preservation, and I kind of had that thought in my head of God, if that was worse, what would I do? If I'd have really done myself some lasting damage, which could happen, falling off a horse, I could be out of work, I might not be able to work anymore, I might not be able to ride horses, I might not be able to look after my own horse, or all these things started coming into my head. And talk about creating such a, what's it called, catastrophizing, or I don't know if that's what it's called or if that's just what I call it, but that's what it is. That hasn't happened, but in my head it's going on. So yeah, and I was really sitting there Monday honestly thinking, do you know what, no, that's it, I'm going to have to find a way of telling everyone that I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm going to give up, I'm not going to ride, I'm not going to train horses, I'll keep Ginger because he's mine, but I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to feed him, knock him out, all that stuff, I don't want anything to do with horses anymore. That honestly went through my head. And the thing is as well, when your horses are your job as well as your hobby, if you have a bad day at work in a job that doesn't involve horses, you can come home and relax with your horses, and you tend to, sort of regroup and feel better. But when your job involves horses and you have a bad day, or even a bad 30 seconds of your day, you come home to your horses and it's now I've got to try and deal with these, and sometimes you just don't want to be around them. And I'm not complaining at all, because obviously I'm very, very grateful for the life that I have and the opportunities I have and the ability to do the job I do and to have horses, but sometimes it's quite a lot when it's your entire life. And as we all know, when we've got horses, you can't just go and take a break, they still need looking after. So yeah, all of that was going on. So I really, as I say, went on this downward spiral of self-sabotage, lost all my self-belief, completely thought that I had no business training horses, I was not good enough, I'm not good enough, that I should just give up, which was pretty horrible. So the thing that I really wanted to discuss with you is how I came out the other side of it, because in the past, from last year probably and before then, I would have lots of moments like this, maybe not involving horses, but just moments where I would really beat myself up about things, and my self-belief was fairly non-existent. And I would allow that to just carry on, to just go on and on and on and on and on until something kind of put a stop to it naturally. I certainly wouldn't put any effort into stopping it myself. So when things have happened with horses before and I've been like, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, I don't want to ride anymore, I would then allow that thought to carry on and not ride until eventually, I'm a horse person, I love horses, that would take over, I'd miss it and I'd go and get back on the horse. But that could take quite a long time and I would never actually learn from the experience. I'd just kind of get over that one and then it would happen again because I never learned from it. The difference is now that I really noticed this week is that my way of dealing with things has completely changed. So I allowed myself all of Monday to feel like absolute useless, rubbish horse person. I didn't even really allow myself, it just kind of happened. And then it was Tuesday morning that I woke up and I had this really clear kind of thought in my head of, am I actually going to waste another day like that? Or am I going to go out there and do something about it and change it? And I just was like, yeah, that's what I need to do, I need to change it. So I just kind of gave myself like that slap around the face of like, right, okay, so this has happened, so what are you going to do about it? How are you going to make sure it doesn't happen again? What have you learnt from it? How can you move on from it? And I really kind of had to sit myself down and have this pep talk with myself about it and really pick myself up and say, okay, do you know what? This happens to everyone. You made a mistake. You're human. That's what people do. You're not some kind of superhuman that's going to get the answer right all the time. And I think when you realise that and you accept it and you accept that these kinds of things are going to happen, it makes it a lot easier to deal with and to move on from. And as soon as I had that thought, I was like, do you know what, that's true? Like, even the best riders in the world are going to have that happen sometimes because we're human, we make mistakes, we misjudge situations. You know, nothing horrendous happened because of it. You know, we're all okay. So there's really no point in dwelling on it so much. But there is a point in learning from it. So what can I learn from this situation? And actually there is so much I can learn. So I really sat down with myself and thought through the whole situation. Like, why did it happen? What did I do that created that moment? And I know, it's very clear in my head now. And then what can I do to make sure it doesn't happen again? What can I do now going forward to help this horse even more? And that was the thing that really changed things for me, because I was like, okay, I need to go and do some research and do some learning and put myself back in the student shoes for a while. So that's what I did. And one of the most important things I did is I went and spoke to a friend. So I've got a friend who's also a trainer. She lives in America. She's amazing. And very often we will have conversations. If one of us is having trouble with a horse or something, we'll kind of ask the other and get some, advice. Like, if you were dealing with this situation, what would you do? So I asked her. She gave me some fantastic advice, led me to something that I have done before but had never, hadn't thought about in a while, hadn't done in a while. So I was like, oh, okay, no, that's a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I went and researched that some more, and now I'm excited again. I want to go and try this. I can't wait to see if this helps this horse. And it's also given me some ideas for other horses, that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't have had this happen. I just wouldn't have got to that point, which is just really exciting and really cool. And I just now feel really excited to push forward and to do this again. And it's really changed my self-belief as well, because I really hit a real low with it on Monday, and then the rest of the week I've been really high up again with it, no, I do know what I'm doing, I can do this, I've got the answers now, I know what to do. And also, just as I say, just accepting that I'm a human being and these things are going to happen, it just means so much. It's just so important to remember that when things go wrong, is that it happens to everybody. So I've said so many times before that I really believe that everything happens for a reason, and I do think that there was a reason for that happening on Sunday. There was a reason why it really knocked me, confidence-wise, self-belief-wise, also just kind of knocked my plans a little bit. I had a lot planned for this week and then I couldn't do it because I was sore, so I had to cancel things this week. But actually it kind of then freed up time to do things that I've been stressing about because I hadn't had time to do them. So all these things have kind of fallen into place because of it. And as I say, I've found this these other techniques and methods that I just hadn't thought about before, and now I can use them with other horses, and I'm excited about it. And that's what's the really, the real change I feel for me. I've also been having these kind of thoughts around this is where you're going to think I'm a little bit crazy, or you might be like, oh, this is really interesting, hopefully more interesting, but around like on a more spiritual level. And I've always been very kind of open-minded with that kind of thing. My mum is a meditation coach, so I kind of get a lot of it from her as well. Like I see what she does and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I've never really gone down that road myself, but I thought I'd have a go. So last night I sat with Guinness, because Guinness I feel like I've got a very strong mental connection with anyway. I've tried it before with Ginger, where I've tried to sit with him and really connect to him and kind of see if he's got any messages for me and things like that, things he wants to tell me. But I've never been able to do it, and I think because we've both got very like short attention spans, we both kind of get a bit bored very quickly. And so I've always kind of gone, oh no, it's not for me, like it won't work. But then I thought actually Guinness would be the perfect one to try it with, because I feel like I've got a little bit of that going anyway. So I just sat down with him in the field last night, and he came and stood with me and, you know, just kind of dozed next to me. So I was like, okay, well he's open to this, because he's come over straight away to be with me, like left the grass and his friends to come and sit with me. And I just kind of shut my eyes and just tried to meditate, tried to completely clear my head, which is the thing I've always struggled to do. And it took me a little while, it took a few attempts, but I did manage to do it. And I pictured myself just with Guinness, and everything else was just white, and I could just see myself sitting there in the field, and I could see him standing next to me just with his eyes shut and his leg cocked and his tail swishing like the flies away. And we sat like that for quite a long time. It felt like quite a long time, it probably wasn't that long. And I was just watching us, like as if I was out of my body, just watching our situation, and it was just really calm, really peaceful and really relaxed. And then, and this is where you might think I'm crazy, a tiger walked in, and obviously just in the picture, not like in real life, I hope. I think I'd have noticed if it was in real life. This tiger just walked in, and it walked, and I watched it walked to me, and then it walked around me, and it just looked at me, and it was just like really relaxed and like this real sort of chilled out picture. It walked past me and just looked at me as it walked around me, and then it went in between me and Giddis, and it walked around him and just looked at him as it was going around him, and then it just continued off and disappeared, and it had gone. And that freaked me out a little bit, so I kind of like opened my eyes and was like, okay, that's enough of that. And I got up and like shook myself off, and then Guinness kind of blew out and shook himself off, and he wandered off, so he then like disconnected, and I was like, okay, so was that him giving me that picture? Why was he showing me a tiger? That was really weird. So I was like straight onto Google, like what does it mean if you see the image of a tiger? And it was really interesting, and I'm not actually going to tell you about it because there's so much, but I'm just going to write a few of the things at the end of this so you can just read it. But I think, yeah, it's well worth looking at, because it was really quite mind-blowing, like what that tiger symbolises, considering the events of this week. So it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but at the same time, it's just amazing. And now I'm kind of fascinated by it, and I want to explore it more. And I'm going to try and connect with him again today. And we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. But yeah, really, really interesting. So that's just kind of what I wanted to tell you. And I just hope it helps somebody. I know that you like these honest vlogs. I know that it helps you guys to realise that I'm human and everyone has bad days. But yeah, I just hope that, you know, even if one person watching this is going through something similar or goes through something similar in the future, you can realise that actually it's normal and it's fine, and you can, you know, there's a reason for it happening, and you can actually move on from it, and it will probably mean that you are getting better, you know, there's something better coming around the corner. That was definitely the case for me. I found that, you know, even though it was a bad time, it wasn't the plan, it wasn't what I wanted to happen. Sometimes you need something that extreme, something like that, just to kind of jolt you out of it and just kind of send you off in a different direction, which is exactly what I needed to do. So yeah, really interesting, but I just wanted to share it with you. So I'm going to end the vlog here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give me a like on YouTube, on Facebook, and share it, subscribe. Find us on Instagram and follow us there as well, and I will see you next week.